All right, we are in the Neon City 9-hole Cup. I will go out and I will. I may not play the tournament, but I'm gonna. We'll go out and check them out. Let's go check out the holes. Let's check them out. Somewhere. Hopefully, everybody had a good fall major. I did not have a good fall major. The game. I was having an issue last week. I haven't actually played since last Friday. Pretty irritated. Couldn't grab a hold of the ring sets. And I talked to a teammate of mine. I started off by clearing my catch, and then I completely took the game off. And I still had the problem. No sense in practicing if you can't play the game because you can't grab a hold of the ring set. So that's how it works. But now we're on a whole new tournament. Wow, another week, another tournament. People say I'm like Nostradamus, but I don't know, but let me put my hands on my forehead. I think that there'll be another tournament the week after. And probably another one after that. I think it'll be a full tournament next week, and then another half tournament, another 9-hole cup is what I'm predicting. We'll see if that holds true. What is it? 5 billion years from now, or our sun will go supernova, and we'll probably still be playing a full tournament, and then a half tournament, and then a full tournament. All right, we're in the original configuration here I believe, as far as pin placement. And this is the very first hole I ever got a hole-in-one on a par 4 going this direction, bouncing off of this island. Ideally bringing out a big enough ball so that you can get over. I do not know what the terrain is like right here, where this little finger's at, because your ball guide's coming through and you think, wow, I'll just bounce here, and then I'll get a bounce there, and then it'll bounce over and it'll run me towards the cup. But for some reason, when it hits over on this side, instead of coming along where you got a bounce that goes like this, and then a bounce that goes like that, and then you're over in this area, and then you're going towards the green, on this second bounce, it goes bounce, and then it goes flat. And it's just completely flattened out there. I've had more luck not trying to use that, but coming off a little bit on the left-hand side and trying to bring it around and getting my bounces a little bit better. We will see. Now, you can, if you don't want to go that direction, you don't want to take any risks, you can just lay it up right here and you can go for it. I haven't had a lot of success from over here over the years. It's a difficult. This little rough that's in here doesn't seem like it's in the way, but where the cup's at, it's kind of in the way. It seemed like the last time we played this, we were actually trying to get over onto the green in one, where if you brought out a big enough ball, you could start off on this side. And if you could get your curl right, you could actually try and get from here and get over to the other side. I know that you can do it with the bounce. It's kind of inconsistent. You know, you can come out here with the best of intentions and you can do everything you did the last time, and last time you made it over and this time you don't. It's a fairly inconsistent area, and it's all about that second bounce there. I'm just wondering though, it seems to me that we were working an area here to get over to the other side, and it was all about the new ball inventory. So let's make sure here. Let's practice. Practice hole number 1. Practice. It seemed like there was a way. I'll have to go back and look. It was whatever tournament we played, they changed the pin placements. And in that particular tournament, kind of been the first time in a long time, because we don't play these holes very often. And we definitely don't play the whole course very often. Occasionally they'll have some of these holes in a tournament. And we're all extremely familiar with the Milano because it's a lower level tour. Now, if I wanted to get over to that area, yeah, I mean, that's the deal right there. So We come out with a power ball. Find one with some good side spin. And you can get up into this area right here. You see where that second bounce is at. Actually, putting on overpower is probably a better deal. Let's see if we can get that with like maybe one top spin. And it's still going to put me in that sand. We'll time out. We're checking it out. I think that's it right there. So 5 power ball with 5 side spin. Now, if we have to do overpower to get over there, you could probably get away with like a 4 power ball, but it's going to depend on the wind. If we have a headwind day, you may be stuck having to use. And let's see what that ball looks like on the other side as well. But there's definitely, I don't really want to waste a 5 power ball practicing that shot. But there's definitely a shot over on the left-hand side. Definitely. It might be one of those ones too, because this hole is really, I mean, we really do want to get this eagle. There's 2 tops, man. And if I did overpower, let's look where that second bounce is landing. See how it's landing on the other side of the sand right there? So if I start here and I put some curl on it, there's a good chance that I could miss that sand from that spot. So I definitely think there's a shot right there. And that'll really just depend on what ball you're willing to bring out. But we have this shot right here. I'm going to run out of time. Here, I'll just wait. I'll let my opponent go. I'll let my opponent have it so I can set that shot up a little bit better. Almost in the hole. I spotted him a couple shots. And we'll put it in the hole right here. Here we go. Here we go. Four, 3, 7. I'm going to do 2 rings. I'm going to put that overpower or the extra stuff back in and just a little teeny bit of overpower. And some curl. And I hit it 7,000 rings great to the left. Hey, Playdemic, thanks for putting the signs out there. We appreciate it. Well, I just want to let you know the whole community thinks those signs are the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know, hey, thanks for putting them in play. I noticed in the last tournament, I was talking to one of my teammates in that fall major, there were several sections of trees you could hit into the trees, and the trees weren't in play. But luckily, all the signs were in play. We were really concerned about it. It's always sad, you know, when the trees are in play and the signs aren't. You know, like you get out into the woods in real golf. It's like that. Everybody who plays real golf knows you can hit into the woods and you don't have to worry about it. You just hit. Those trees aren't in play. But the signs and stuff, the temporary signs and stuff that are out there, yeah. Thanks, Playdemic. We just wanted to give you some love about it. That's the kind of things right there that are really, yeah. This hole right here, you can bounce off of this and try and get a bounce, that he bounce. there's stuff that you can do on this, but there is a rough bump that's right in this area right here. And in the past, we've done like a 10-15% adjustment right there. We'll start off with a 10. And here's the tricky thing about this hole. We'll go out and look at it. It's, here, hold on, let me make sure I got a bag that has a Guardian in it. Let's change that for a sniper. And let's make this my utility bag. Big Tapa. Guardian. Then a Goliath. Alright. I think this is best played with a Guardian. And this is definitely a hole. Definitely a hole that you want to play the very first time. And I think I'm going to take a katana. I'm not sure. I think we do need the spin, but we'll find out. We might be able to do this with a nav or a quasar. This is definitely a hole that you want to know what the spin is. So the first time you go out there, there's a bunch of the stuff on the setup on this that's not how we normally set these shots up, and to be quite honest, it's kind of a bitch to set this hole up if you don't know what the spins are. So it's real important to go out there and practice this hole, and all you're worried about is the spin, and then write that number down. So the next time you come on this hole, you can go, what in the hell is this hole? Is this really the hole that we're playing? So with this hole, well, 4, 6. Where are we? Am I playing one-on-one? What is the deal here? I'm not even sure what I'm playing here. Did I accidentally go in and do... I have no freaking clue what it is that I'm playing. I can't believe the wind pushed me back that far. I didn't even hit over on the other... I didn't even hit the fairway on the other side. That's funny. Yeah, dude, I got pushed back with the power... whatever ball that was. Power 2 ball, and you're not going to make it. Yep. Here we go. We're timing out. Are they timing out? Well, the good news is that they're not going to make it. I have no idea what I just did here. Why am I... Let's switch this up. Let's switch it up. Since I have no idea what we're doing here. Do. How did I end up on this? I must have just been playing. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing right now. I don't even know where I'm at. How funny is that? Like, I was talking and I wasn't paying attention to it. And that's part of the deal when you're shooting. You're half-ass paying attention to what's going on around you. I have a lot of friends that have recorded videos and started YouTube channels and posted stuff, and it's always the comment I get from is, man, when you're sitting at home and you're just thinking, and you're not having to talk about it, or you're not have to demo the stuff, or I'm drawing on the screen, I'm doing all kinds of crap. It's lucky I can get any shot off in time. The Guardian. It's 1.1 per ring, so 5 rings is 5.5. There's 5.5. I guess that'll be good enough. And I'll hit it great to the right to make up for the fact that I couldn't take the wind out. Perfect distance. What is the deal? What did I do? What's funny is I can go back and watch this video and see how I screwed up right there. But right now, you all know. So you're all laughing at me. But right now, I haven't got a freaking clue what I did. I must have went into Tour 7 because it's a 200K match. But I wasn't actually thinking about going into Tour 7. What were you doing? Just habit. I play Tour 7 in this account. And I guess I wanted a chest. That's funny. Funny. Well, we're here now, so I might as well finish it. I can use the cheddar. Round earth. Yeah, we live on a round earth. I'm sorry, the earth is not flat. I'm sorry if I have viewers out there who believe that the earth is flat and that I'm offending you. I apologize, but the earth is not flat. I'm just saying. What's funny to me is I've seen some of like the really big people that are like totally into the flat earth deal that have done experiments, and the experiments that they've done have proven that the earth is not flat, and then they try and figure out some justification on how the math could have been wrong, so they try and reverse engineer it so that the math would come out the way they want. Let's see if my opponent can get up there. Man, that's a narrow spot to do the rough bump. There is a rough bump up there, but that is the narrowest spot. They put that curl on it, and then they hit it a ring and a half, 2 rings. Great. Nice. Nice on. 358. There is a rough bump here. 3.7. Right here. That you can do. We'll try it. 3.7 it's 3.7. It's 1.1 per ring. I was going to add on 10%. And I hit it great. I got all that going for me. I'm not sure if that won. I don't think it did. I think they were at 340 something. Close. The great didn't help. 358 to 362. Close. Good game. Good game. Good game. Now let's see if I can not do whatever the hell I just did right there. Let's go to hole number 2. Hole number 2. Jeez, how hard is that? Hole number 2. Wow. I got the hole number 2 this time. We'll see what kind of ball we gotta have. All that just to get to hole number 2. My caddy led me astray. My caddy thought I needed some practice, so he took me. We were walking to hole number 2, and he took me over to the other course. It really would. I mean, there's so many different things that they could do in this game to brighten it up and make it nice and shiny and have some fun. Okay, the first thing you want to do here, I'm down in this spot. You need to spin it around so that you can see where your ball guide's going. And once again, thank you, Playdemic, for putting signs down there, right where we're going to hit. It was so inconvenient before not having those signs there. So you could do this with a sniper. So we're looking at what, 5 backspin? Five backspin from that area. So we know the next time where we want to do it, and I'm pretty sure that we, like I said, we've done like a 10 or a 15%. I'm gonna just, I'll start off with a 10. But it does seem like we were doing like a 15. I could be wrong. I'll do the 15. Why not? 5 backspin. And I had a sliver of side spin on there, but I'm just going to put on 5 backspin. And you can do that, but why would you do that when you have a great shot at a hole-in-one? The wind, 4.5. I'm going to, and I am using a Marglin. 5 backspin. Getting it right at the hole. 5.17 rings. Hitting it perfect. We'll see how close we can get. Oh, and you missed, and I missed it. So I definitely needed to do more than a 15 because I was in this in this area right here coming out at my ring set. I was maybe not dead center middle of that, but pretty damn close. So what did that give me? Like 2 rings. So that wind pushed me forward 2 full rings, which with this club would be 2 miles an hour. That, let's go. I don't have enough practice tokens, and I am definitely not buying anything. I am definitely not giving them any of my money for as long as I can. I've already cost them a little bit of money. Not that their bank account shows it, but hey, if everybody out there said, hey, fuck it, we're not buying anything for a week, maybe they would, if every single person in the game said, we're not buying anything for a week, until, like, hey, can you guys listen to, like, is there some shit you can do, or quit giving us the stick? And I can tell you right there is a prime example of giving us the stick. They gave us the stick on that hole right there by, number one, putting signs up right here in the back, because it is definitely a fail zone to get over into that area. But from where I was at right here, being dead center in the middle of it and getting pushed forward 2 rings on a 4.5 mile an hour wind. Once again, as I've said here the last month or so, the elevation stuff that we've used in the past, you can throw all that shit out the window. We're going to have to come out and play those shots to find out what the adjustments are, because anything that we've used in the past is probably not going to work. It may, but it's probably not. Hole number 3. All right. This hole right here, if the wind is blowing right, my target zone is right here. You can get over into this area over here, just depending on how you come out of this rough. You could bleed up into that and make your shot even shorter. If the wind's blowing wrong, or if you don't have the ball inventory to get you over here, because I think even if the wind's blowing positive, we're going to need at least a 3-power ball to get over there. If we've got any kind of side wind or headwind, we're probably going to have to bring out a bigger ball. or we may not be able to do that shot at all. So the primary way, and what everybody's going to play in one-on-one, is to lay it up out in this area and then bring it up in this area and then go for the shot. In the past, now we have better ball inventories now, so you do have balls that have topspin moves. Trying to get out into here and taking this shot. When you do your arc, from here it's a wood, and I'm not sure if you're in long iron over there, you may have increased your or lowered your club with this distance change, but you have a killer shot right here. A very, very makeable shot from right here with your wood. If you're out in this area, you're definitely in short iron, and up here you're definitely in wedge. But we do have areas that we can hit to depending on which ways the wind is blowing. And one-on-one, I'm almost always going to play over to this side. Because number one, I'm bringing out a marlin. And number two, you know, you're just not going to be able to make it over here to get the bounce forward with a marlin. So the left-hand side is where I'm going to play. But in tournament play, this is one of those holes that, you know, it's definitely makeable from out here, but it's even more makeable from here to here. So trying to get over into this area, to me, is worth it. Because if you fail up in this area, you can still easily recover. Now, if you got lower developed clubs and you fail back here, the word is you are screwed. And you don't want to fail over here either. If this is a wood and you fail on this side, you are in big ass trouble. This side over here is definitely where, if you know how to use the wind ring method, you can end up in the fairway almost every time with a QB. But if you don't use the wind ring method, you're rolling out through that narrow, you know, you go from a really wide fairway into this little funnel down here, and you'll get caught up. Originally on this hole, these trees were in here, and so you had a clear shot. And then where, you know, like the mass majority of the times if you just laid it up out here, you would have your shot to the cup. Those trees may be in your way, but it's fairly easy to get around it. We'll go look at it. We'll go look at it. Here we maybe go. Maybe. So what could the game do to brighten it up a little? I think they could encourage people to play more tour play, and they could come out and really promote the deal where they go, hey, the Neon City, we're going to play the Milano, we're going to put the Milano in Tour 5, Tour 7, Tour 9, and Tour 11. So people can play it from the Masters tees. We can get higher wins if people are playing expert. We can get still the middle tee, but a little lower wins if people are playing pro. And you could practice it from rookie and really force people to go out. Hey, you want to practice the holes? Go out and practice them. We're going to put them out there for you. What Playdemic would do in the past is then they would only put the holes out. They would lower the percentage chance that you would get the holes you're really looking for. So once again, they would give us the stick. Playdemic is really good at giving us the stick. Am I back on that freaking... All right. All right. Five backspin. .9, 5.7 rings, 5.1. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. And that was with a 30% adjustment. We'll see if I can hit the fairway this time. Actually, I hit right where I wanted. Ooh, slight overpull. Slight. And don't worry, if you roll right there, you can see how close those signs are. Those signs are literally right on the edge of the fringe, so if you overshoot, there is a good chance you'll be... Now, you can roll underneath of those signs, and then you get caught behind them. Yay! What could they do to freshen the game up? The answer to that is they don't care. At least it feels like they don't care. If you spend $1,000 a month, then they will start caring. In the hole, how? Usually when you go in there, it advances you to the next hole. So how did that happen? Who knows? Now I'm screwed because I'm one practice token shy. No. All right. Are we actually going to get to go practice hole number 3 now? Here we go. As you can see, you're not going to be able to get there with a low power ball unless you have tailwind like we have. So we do have some tailwind and we can use that. There's no reason we have to bring out a bigger... Now, the deal is that if you bring out a bigger ball, you can kind of standardize your shot. And I have 3 rings right there, so... Three. I'm going to push that forward wind back on. And we'll see if we can blast it out there. Our whole goal is to just try and get through. We got to negotiate rough at the very end. And unfortunately, I had that bounce. What you want is that bounce to land in the fairway and then bounce over the rough, or at least launch you into the rough, so that if you clip on the other side, you can roll out. But having your second bounce land in the rough is not going to be enough to get you out. Now, it would have. If I would have been trying to go for this, I was trying to get greedy and go all the way up to the front. If I was trying to go to this fairway right here, you don't have to go. You can see how far I have to get through the rough. And on this side over here, I've got clear fairway forever. The problem with a launch like I got right there is you can actually get a launch that'll launch you all the way over and you end up in the sand on the other side. My opponent's perfect. That's exactly what I was talking about right there. Exactly. And they used a white ball. So we can obviously make it. If you're up in this area right here, and you're not really, let's say we just barely make it. I believe that this shot from right here is a wedge, but it might be minimum short iron. Yeah, that's probably minimum short iron. Maybe mid. It does look like there's a rough bump right there. And my opponent's practicing. Look at that. Like, practice the shot. Like, let's see what it looks like when we're practicing it from there. I'm going to take the shot straight up. No adjust, no extra. We'll see if I need to overpull. Okay, there's min. There's max. There's mid. Make clubs 1.6. I'm going to put on 1 backspin. .1 divided by 1.6, 1.93 rings. I'm going to do 2. And I'm going to hit it 70,000 rings great to the... That was every bit of a ring to 2 rings. It looked to me like, I think of it as 2 rings, but I was probably right on the edge for that second ring, so it was 1 solid ring great to the left. And if I hadn't hit it great to the left, I would have missed on the right hand side, I'm pretty sure. I need to pull it a little bit more than just at club, maybe 10. In the past, we've done 10 here on an uphill shot. So once again, this elevation stuff, we're going to have to go out and you'll have to do this. I could tell you that, oh yeah, this is what we're doing, but you're hitting to a different spot. And every one of those spots is going to be a little bit different. If you're in a range where you're consistently hitting in the range and you're, you know, for the most part, those are going to be pretty close as far as the adjustment. But where my opponent landed on their first shot before they chipped it over, I'm not so sure that that spot's not at a different elevation or a different spot where you'll have to do a slightly different adjustment. The main thing on these holes is you need to figure out, and I know that you can watch other people's channels and they'll tell you to the blade of grass, you need to be in this spot, and you need to be 2 blades of grass to the right. You need to have 6/10 of this kind of spin, and you need to do all this stuff, and then you need to do, and while you're doing it, you need to stand on 1 foot. You need to raise your hand above your head, and you can make the shot every time. And then you go out there and try it, and it's like, okay, maybe it does work, maybe it doesn't. But you have to figure that shit out for your clubs. That's it. Everybody's got different clubs. I'm sure that there are 2 people out there that have the same clubs, and they're brand new. They just started it right now. Hole number 4. What is hole number 4? That hole so far, this hole right here is definitely eagleable, hole-in-oneable. This hole is definitely hole-in-oneable, and that hole right there is definitely eagleable. So this is going to be another one of those minus 62 tournaments. This one here, okay. There is a rough bump. You can bounce off the island. You could come over here, I suppose, and try and backspin it. The island shot's pretty good. And then once again, in the past, we've always done like a 10 or a plus 15% off of this island. And I believe off the island it's with, I think it's with a grizzly or with a long iron. I'm not sure about the rough bump. We'll see. I was out on this hole one time playing with Hammer and Hank, and he was doing the rough bump, and I was bouncing off the island. And the rough bump is a good shot. I think there might have been a red line issue, but we'll find out. Like, you got to bring the right ball in order to get to the spot. This is definitely a hole-in-oneable hole. They've taken some of these older courses on some of these holes, and they've changed them around so they're not as hole-in-oneable. So if we're going to bounce off the island, I got to tighten. With a 3 power ball and a tailwind or a pure side wind, I could do the rough bump with a 3 power ball. With a 0 power ball, I could, well, I've got about 3 rings that I could work out with a 0 power ball. If you had a 0 power low wind ball, it'd probably be even better. I'm at minimum sniper, so it's 4 divided by 1.2 if I did a straight up adjustment. I'll do that shot right there, and we'll see what that rough bump looks like at minimum club. I'll switch to a Marlin. I don't know if I need the spin. And when I've taken the shot off the island, I like to be dead center in the middle of that island. Opponent hit it great. Great to the right. Yo right. Yo right. Pretty close. Pert close. Alright, we'll just do it at I'll be dead center in the middle of that. 2.6. And I'm at minimum club. 2.6 divided by 1.2. No extra. It's 2.16. I'll do 2.2. Here's 2.2. We'll see how much more I need to add on. Isn't it perfect? We'll see if I hit dead center in the middle of that. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And that was actually appeared to be a slight overpull. This is where the practice tokens, I understand from their perspective the practice deal, but like you can't go out on a course and play a hole over and 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 over. You could keep doing that forever. I liked it better when you just had to go play. Hole number 5. All right. Is this hole? I see people hit over here all the time, and I will tell you in rookie, there's spectators out there. Don't hit over there. You're going to piss a bunch of people off. There are several ways that you can go at this hole. I always think every time I see this hole, I always think of the first time I ever played with my teammate Mike D, and I went out. This was the very first hole we ever played together, and I came out here and did a max over power hook shot. And you can get your ball on the green, but and you can do it with a low power ball. But it's really gimmicky, and depending on which way the wind's blowing, it is definitely a tough shot. The best way to go at it is to bounce off of this island and get bounce number 1, and then just run up towards the cup and end up over in this area. You can get fairly close to the cup, but just being a little bit off the green. I will say this, that if you're just a little teeny bit off the green here and you're doing the chip up, that chip up, because of the terrain of the green's kind of like this and the pin's in the middle, and when your ball comes onto it, it's immediately rolling off to the right. It has nothing to do with wind. It has to do with the topography of the course, and it can be a very challenging little pitch even though you're just right there. And I have missed that pitch on several occasions, and it is not a happy deal. Let's go out and see what we can do. Let's go see what we can do. I see people all the time hit over to the left-hand side, and I will tell you that the shot, if you get all the way to the end, and you're in the perfect spot all the way down to the end, I've seen some people make that shot. But the mass majority of people I've seen take that shot, you don't make it. Number one, there is a huge difference in elevation. Like literal elevation, not some bullshit number that we come up with, but like real elevation. And if you're going to go for over there, why aren't you just going to get on the green? The risk versus reward. The risk is that, wow, I end up in the rough so you can try and get up into that spot. With the way the wind's blowing today, we can do that with a 3 power ball. Where I want to get is right about there. All right. One ring grate to the right. Into the sand. Too much curl. I was trying to get greedy. You can just hit it straight forward and bleed out of that rough and have a short little pitch right there, but I was trying to get greedy around that corner, and I can't tell you how many times I've ended up in that sand because I tried to get greedy trying to get around that corner. It doesn't seem like it's that much in play, but it's a damn magnet. I think underneath that sand there's probably like 70,000 balls. There's a mouth and eyes. I can see it. It's hungry. Perfect. That was perfect. That could almost be a hole in one. Nice. Watch my opponent. That's how to get it done. That was how to do it. That was not how to do it. I wasn't showing you how to do it. My opponent was. That's why I came out with this opponent, because I knew they were going to be able to get it done. And I figured I'd let them show you how to do it. See? That's how you get an eagle. Hey, once again, thanks for putting the signs right up against the green there, Playdemic. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. We love those signs. Come on, man. Come on. And what we love is the fact that there's a variable in their programming where they can make a whole knot, or they can make something so that we interact with it or don't interact with it, and they've made trees and bushes so we don't interact with them, because those are real things that are growing out there. But the signs, yeah, we love it, man. Let's see if we can get this hole. Are we gonna switch? This is the one thing I don't like about Tommy site, is that all right. Yeah. Is that when you switch holes, that each one of these isn't a page. What in the hell? All right, everything's gonna be a hassle. I got you. No, I got you. I got you. Come on, man. Hello? Are we gonna change the hole? Come on. Wow, it only took all that to get it? Okay. This hole right here is, there are several reasons why I started shooting videos. The first one, and the primary goal, was that I wanted to help my buddy Scooby learn the wind ring method. And I was thinking about posting, I had shot a couple of videos and I was thinking about posting them and starting up a YouTube channel. And this hole right here is the hole that convinced me to do it. Because at the time, and I don't know what they're saying now, but at the time, Zachary Jones and Tommy were like, hey, the way to play this hole is to come over here and then come at it like this. And number one, this shot coming over here to get into the right spot is pretty difficult. And if you're in the right spot over here, the second shot is once again pretty difficult. the pin is so damn close to the edge that you can't come at it and just try and run it up to it. And you can't backspin it. There's not enough room there. Even if you had a 200% backspin club, I don't know that there's enough room there to backspin it. You pretty much have to do the rough bump. And the rough bump is on one of the, it's like this. And you're hitting here off of this rough. It is a rough shot. You can see how steep it is. I mean, look at the freaking shadow that's there. And I was like, why are you guys telling people to hit over here and take this shitty shot when we can lay it up over here? And if we don't get to the right spot for the rough bump, we can bounce off of this island and then come at it. We have options. If you're short, you can bounce off the island or off of this fairway pad and get on the green. We have options on this side, and this shot's pretty damn easy. It's a setup shot. I mean, you may miss it the first time you come out here, but if you pay attention to how you're setting your shot up, it's easy to set this shot up to get out into that area. If you got a QB, you can bring a QB and a katana, or I believe it's best to bring out a 3-power ball for the second shot. So when you're in the right area, you have full access to the rough bump that's over here. You can come out with a QB, leave yourself 3 rings of separation. You're going off in this direction, max topspin, max curl, no overpower, and you can end up you're probably going to end up in this area. And then you've got a great shot at it. The second shot, over here we've got that same kind of rough that we have if we're coming at it from this angle, where it's this really steep rough when we're doing the rough bump. But you can kind of start off over here where it funnels out and it's a little flatter over here, and try and side spin it around to the cup. This hole right here, we played in a tournament, and I was like 2 squares off and missed the putt and got furious and left the house and was like done. And then came home, and my wife convinced me to finish out my round, because it was like it was early in the round, and ended up going out and shooting a 31 and winning the tournament. But this hole right here I've had a lot of success on this hole, and I've had some epic shit happen on this hole as well. Here, I'll show you how to do that with a QB. We'll see. We'll go switch this back, and we'll play it with this. We'll just switch this up for a quarterback. I think most people will have more people will have a maxed out quarterback than a maxed out rock. Let's play the tournament and not playing Ricky. Practice hole number 6. We'll see if we can get out there. We'll see. I said it like, why are you guys going to the left when you can go to the right and it's much easier? And then I'll go out to the right and tank it. Let's hope not. Depending on what clubs you're using and or what ball you're using, you could overshoot this shot. If you overshoot way in the front because you overshot it, you can recover. But ideally, we do not want to do that. I think with max, I don't think I need max. I'm gonna put 3.5 on. I'm at the red line, 3 rings off. 3.5. Get lined up with the wind. There's 3.5. Max curl. 700 rings great on the inside, which is one of the reasons why I leave myself 3 rings of separation on max curl shots. Yeah, I would say 3.5 topspin's about it. If I would have hit that perfect. Hey, wow, that is fucking awesome right there, folks. Not sure if you caught that, but where I'm landed, right there on that little, because ideally we want to get up along that edge. We don't have to get right on the edge, but we want to get up along that edge. What in the hell are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Let's turn your ass off. Hey, look at that. Golf Clash put some signs out here so that if you hit into the perfect spot, you could potentially have a sign in your way. Let's see. Like if I would have hit it into this perfect spot right here. I'm just curious. I just want to know, like if I would have hit it into that perfect spot right there, and like look at that, I got a great shot to the cup. Wow! Thank you, Playdemic, for putting signs in our way. God, man, you guys are just always thinking about us. And look at the shot from the other side. If you hit from the other side that I was talking about, that there's a sign now in your way for doing that rough bump. Wow. Man, you guys are so good to us. As players, we would have never thought about putting a bunch of signs out there in our way, hampering our shots, because we're just out here, we just want to play. But you guys are always thinking about us. So cool. Man. I feel special. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Hey, thanks, Playdemic. That right there is one of those spots are some of the best spots in this entire course. If you're going to take the shot to the cup. And Playdemic went down there and put signs up. I'm not sure who the Playdemic employee is who came up with those and got their little gold star above their name for coming up with all this good stuff. But I can tell you, personally, I'd like to. I mean, look at that. Yeah. Hey, dude. And not only that, but they put in really tall signs too, so it's harder to get over them. Yeah, you guys suck. There you go. Hit the sign. Woo! Look at that. Some of the best spots on this hole, and Playdemic put signs out there. So now we have to negotiate that. We couldn't put a sand trap or something out there. We put signs. We put signs out there. We can advertise on those signs and make some cheddar. And then they might get behind the signs and ruin their hole. It's a good experience. Is it just me? I mean, leave comments. Is it just me, or are they literally getting more and more giving us the stick? I mean, I'm on the verge of not having any kind of fun at all playing this game anymore, and you can probably tell it in the tone of my voice for this whole video. And I apologize. But, I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Really? Like, really? Like, look at that. I mean, think about it. I mean, are you not? I am fucking blown away by that. I'm just, like, blown away. I will tell you, though, to whoever at Playdemic got the little gold thing on there, is that you guys are not putting the signs on correctly. Where you need to put them. Because we can't see those signs sometimes. Where you need to put them is right here. We need to have signs right here so that when we're on the tee box and we're looking out, we can see those signs. Okay? Now granted, we might have a sign here and a sign here, and we can only shoot in between them or around them. But if you really want us to pay attention to the signs, and you really want to get your advertising dollars, because I can tell you Legos and the other ones that I've seen that are out there that are doing it, you're wasting your money. You really want us to be able to see those signs, you need to put them right here by the tee box. I want to know when you guys are going to start putting them in the fairway. This is a golf course, okay? And you're putting signs in our freaking landing area where we would actually, like, if you got right there where I was at, where I was behind that sign, that is that is perfect. I mean, look at the angle. I mean, if you're here and you're trying to get this here's the opening for that throat. We draw this line out. Okay, anywhere along this line right here, coming at the cup, especially if you're over towards the middle or over on this side where you don't have to, you can use a little bit of left-hand side spin to bring yourself around. And if you were over here on this edge, it might be a little difficult. Now, you'd probably have to move yourself to the middle and then put on side spin in order to get back. But to put signs up out here in that zone, right where we're hitting, hey, I mean, come on. And then to put signs right here. I mean, I'm not a fan of hitting from this side to try and get to the cup. But maybe there are some people out there that that's their shot, and you just put signs up on the right off the green. I mean, I'm serious, folks. I mean, I'm just dead serious. Like, think about that. And I mean, and Playdemic is just like, hey, that's okay. Hey, it's okay. We put signs out there in play. Trees are in play. Shrubs are never in play. But damn it, those signs that we put out there selling Legos, because of course, at least the average person that listens to my channel is like 45 years old. I mean, I went out last week and I must have bought $500 or $600 of the Legos. You know, I just can't wait to get that new Lego set. So you're advertising Legos to a bunch of old guys, and you're blocking our path for the shots that where we hit perfect out into the deal. I'm telling you. I am like, come on. This is why I'm at the verge where I love shooting these walkthrough videos, because I think that there's a lot of different ways to play these holes, and most people are only looking at like there's only one way to play them. Or they get, because you can see it happen all the time. That way that you're trying to shoot is excellent when you got a tailwind or a side wind. But today we don't have a tailwind or a side wind, and there's another way that you can go at the hole. And instead of going the other way and knowing that other shot, you force the issue and you end up in trouble. There's more than one way to play these holes. But evidently, Playdemic wants to make it so that there isn't, because we're going to have obstacles in our way if we go over there. So like this hole right here, we have this big ass fairway that the greenskeepers have to take care of, and the shot from over here to the cup is now blocked by signs. And I've noticed that when they put those signs out on a course that they don't go back and take them off when we go back in a tour play. So this side over here, as far as the greenskeeper, if I was a greenskeeper, I wouldn't even mow that side anymore. I just tell them, hey, fuck you. You move your signs. Otherwise, we don't have that. All we have is this. I'm not even sure from this side coming at it whether that sign wouldn't be in your way. I mean, come on. Come on. Like, really? Really? You can go from over here and try and get up on this island, but there's a rough bump here. You can swing it around and come over this way. I've never really been a fan of this side. I have taken this shot. Oh, excuse me. It's not here. I did that wrong. It's from right here. You can bounce off of this area and come over and try and get bounce number one and bounce number two right on the other side of the rough and kind of woe it up before you get to the cup. This is a difficult shot, especially if the wind is blowing from this direction, because this is on kind of a side hill like this where it comes into the sand, and you can very easily over adjust this, and where you have to be up here on the right hand side, it's very easy to catch a one ring grate to the right and end up in that rough. So I've taken this shot a bunch of times, but really safety, the rough bump. And the rough bump here is better than it used to be. When this hole originally came out, this sand was kind of like up in here where the sand had kind of washed out, and you could barely even see the rough. But underneath of that sand, there was rough. So but now what's happened is they've come out here with a blower and pushed the sand back so we can actually see the rough. That rough bump is a great shot. It was a great shot, but there may be a sign in the way now, so we'll have to see. Hell, if you're going to put something out there and make it in our way, why don't you put dancing girls or something? You got those little AI girls. You guys can work on that. I think they should start putting those signs right in front of the cup, so instead of coming straight at them, we have to sneak up on them from behind. Yeah. So I suppose we can use that sign and we could bounce off of that sign. Can we get a bounce off of that sign? No. Can we get a bounce off that sign and maybe get a ricochet off and get into the hole? Is that the play? Is that the new game that we're playing? I guess it is. Hey, can I get to where I can see my shit? I'm just really happy that they've let me know that I was using a grizzly, because damn, I didn't know what bag I had, and I was just unsure. I don't even know where I'm at. There's max. There's min. There's mid. So I'm eking max. I'll do a straight up shot and we'll see what happens. In the past, we've always added on a little here, but who knows? I'm surprised they didn't put signs right there, though. Then what would happen is you'd have to bring out like a 5 side spin ball in order to get around the sign, and that would promote them using their side spin balls. Or if somebody massively overshoots this hole and they miss the rough, they could take the risk. They could take those signs could help them. I mean, look out there. That is a joke. That is a joke. .8 divided by max club. Well, let's switch. Let's switch that. I might. Let's see if I can do that with a quasar. Do I have enough distance? There he is. There he is. All right. Yeah, it's always helpful. 4.22 rings. Hitting it perfect. I did a straight up shot there, 388 divided by 0.9, and I needed to do like 10%. In the past, we've done 10% there, so it looks like that might still be holding. I mean, we already have cups that you can see it, because sometimes you'll have those shots that come into the hole really fast and the edge of the cup will flatten out, where we got this round hole. So we're looking at the cup like this, and when the ball's going around, this area here is flattening out, and then it spins around its 12 times and then bounces back out, because that spot then expands and then bounces our ball out of the hole. We've got signs around the back. Next thing you know, they'll have gophers that run out there and grab your ball between when you shot it and when you're getting to it. And they'll give you a 1-stroke penalty. The gopher stole your ball. You'll have to buy some special thing that's gopher proof. Like, are you playing this hole with the gopher proof ball? I mean, if we're going to get ridiculous, I mean, come on. Come on. It is ridiculous. This hole right here, you can play from down in this area. You do not need a big ball here. You can use a quasar. Getting up in here, getting up into the front, you have a beautiful short iron shot. When this hole originally came out, I thought that maybe there was a max overpower hook shot, because if you do your arc, if you can get in here, you can get into this zone to do it. But these trees that are out here are right in the path, and you'll clip those trees almost every. I have never been able to get it going where I didn't clip those trees. I've done it where I didn't have any chance of making it. My trajectory was totally wrong because I tried to take the trees out of play. But from that point, your trajectory will be wrong. I think I have ended up out in this area, but it's much easier to just end up here and you have a great shot. Great shot. Let's see what hole number 9 is. I only got one more practice token, and based off of the signage that's out there in my total, oh man, this is a rough asshole. Rough. Damn. This is one of the toughest par 5s in the game. We definitely want to go out there and look at it. How many practice? I think I only have one practice token. I do. Somehow I got hole number 2 twice. And I don't have anything, and like I said, I am not going to buy some stupid thing for some practice tokens. And I don't think I have anything with practice tokens available. Could put that on, get some clam perks. Yep, that's it. That's it. All the ones for practice tokens are empty. Empty. I usually jump on those pretty quick. Alright, I guess I don't. So we have one hole to practice. Which would you guys rather have me practice? Hole number 8 or hole number 9? I am sure that it's going to be hole number 8. This hole right here, like I said, coming down into this spot right here, if you bring out, I've done this I don't know how many times with an extra mile, leaving myself 2 rings of separation down in this area. It's really weird. You get one bounce here and you get the second bounce over here, and you're going off in this direction, so you'll have to use curl in order to bring it back to the fairway. On your second bounce, it's the ball guide over here, as far as like how it's reading the bounces because of the terrain, is not, you would think if you run all your topspin that your bounce number 1, bounce number 2, you'd have plenty of room over here. This shot does seem a little bit weird. It always seems to me like when I set the shot up right, that you're going off in this direction. Your bounce number 1 is here, bounce number 2. You got to remember, if you put curl on it, on the arc, here you're in the rough, but when you put the curl on it to bring it back into this direction, right here you're in the fairway. And if I remember correctly, you're not using max topspin here. You can very easily overshoot it. But that is definitely the way that I'm going to play that hole. I'm definitely going that direction. Hole number 9. All right. This hole is nothing like it was when it originally started. We used to play out to here, then you would drive to here, then you would go from there to the cup, and you had a shot here to get eagle, but it was really grim, and it was a hard deal just to get to there. This hole right here, I started playing, I got a Spitfire the very first time, and I put it in my bag immediately, and this hole was one of the reasons I started playing with my Spitfire immediately, because it come out with my driver and I would pound the ball as hard as I could possibly get it to get me as far out into the sand as I could possibly get right there, because with a Spitfire you could get from here to there no problem. But if you hit out to here, number 1, you couldn't overshoot it because you didn't have enough rough iron to get you over to here, so now you were just hitting over here, and now you had multiple shots to get to the cup. And from here you were having to do this little bounce over from here and try and get a little, this hole was tough. They changed it and they said, well, now it's much easier. It's not much easier. And it really depends on which way the wind's blowing and what balls you want to bring out. So if we do have a tailwind and you're bringing out a big enough ball, you can start off over here on the other side and you can really get a run at it. You can actually shoot into the sand, but you can get way down in here. And if you end up failing down in here, you can just get to the recovery spot either here or trying to get to that little island. My goal is to try and get to the island in 2. And what I want to do is, this is a great hole for a big topper, because if you're if you're not bringing out a big enough ball that you can get over here, or if it's on a day when we have headwind, you're going to have to pull back into this area with your extra mile, your APOC, or whatever club you're using that's a big hitter. And then you're going to run however much topspin that club has. Well, when you pulled back to this point, now you're in your big topper range, and your big topper has more topspin. So you want to get out into this range, and I think it's about 400 yards. And from 400 yards with a big dog or Cataclysm, you can attempt to get from here over to that island by getting a rough bounce to just bleed off into the island. I've seen people try and get on the green in 2, and if you get way up here, it's definitely a possibility. But if you're back in this range right here, there are some shots to try and get up there, but more than likely you're just going to end up in the sand. And I'm actually just trying to get on the island because that island shot, this is a hole for a precision ball for sure, because if you get on the island and you take that shot, you hit it perfect, it's going in the hole. If you can get yourself up into this range, then you do have a shot at the cup where you could potentially get up there in 2. But once again, we're shooting for eagle. Let's see if we can get this done. Let's see what it looks like out there. We'll go look at it. We'll go look at it. I'm curious to see if in the... Oh, hold on. Whew. Almost screwed that up. The last practice token. Almost screwed that up. Let's go fix some bags here. Big Topper. Cataclysm. Cataclysm will work. That bag will work. We'll try it with a Titan. And let's make sure I have a bag just in case. Extra mile. Cataclysm. Just in the event that bag works. All right. Hole number 9. Hole number 9. Now I'm curious on this course to see where they've put signs. Because there's several prime landing areas out there and ways to come at the cup. And so going out and putting up signs that are right in our way, like they did on that last par 5, I would not have thought that they would have done that, but evidently somebody at Playdemic is a lot smarter than me. It's like, wow, why would we have a golf course that doesn't have signs in the way? Yeah, look at those signs that they put right there on the corner, because that's at that 400 yard range that I was talking about. And so you could get up into that corner right up against that edge, and they've put signs there. Woo! Look at that. Yeah, man, I'm so glad they did that. I just didn't know what game I was playing until they put those signs up. I gotta be honest. Got to be honest. Now, normally I would try and hit right along that range. So let's see if we can get up there where we're behind those signs. It's 2.1 per ring, so I'm gonna do a ring and a half. And I hit it great. I got all that going for me. That'll put me in the rough right up here. Woo! Look at where those signs are at right there. That is fucking beautiful, folks. Like right on the corner, that's the area that we're going to hit. Most people, unless they bring out a big power ball to try and get up towards that sand, that is their landing area, is right in there. And now we have signs in front of us. I'm telling you, if anybody from Playdemic is listening, I'm telling you, you're missing the boat. You need to be putting those signs right off the tee box so that we can see them a little bit better. And then we'll know what to expect when we get out on the course. We'll go, oh yeah, that's one of those Golf Clash signs. I didn't realize. I didn't realize. So if we're hitting just right off along this range, because this is definitely where we want to get, right off along that. Now we'll see, like that is, if that's where I would have ended up on my drive, that's a great area, and I can see I might have just slipped past that sign. There was a way to come at this green from the right, but you can see that they've put that sign right there is probably blocking that path. There was a way that you could try and come around this path right here, but now we have that sign in contention. .35. It's 1.8 per ring. 2 rings is 3.6. I'll just do 3.6. Put a little curl. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if we can just bleed over there to that that little pad. That is exactly what we want to get done, as long as we don't get behind one of those signs. I'm surprised they didn't put signs in front of that. I mean, a lot of people are going to hit to that area and we're not going to know what game we're playing. I am just blown away by Playdemic's lack of respect for its player base. There's max, there's mid. I'm at mid club. .6 divided by 2.4, 1.5 rings. And we'll see if we can get the beagle. Not likely on a grate. Maybe. Probably should have did like an extra 10 there on that uphill shot. Birdie. All right, there you have it. Man, I can tell you, I'm not super happy with the game right now, but after playing that round right there and seeing what they've done on the course, I mean, it's only going to get worse. I mean, it's only going to get worse. They put signs up here. They put signs right along in our prime landing area out here. Getting up close to that rough and being in that range, that 400-yard range right there, going for the shot that I just went for, is the farther you are out here, it makes that shot just a little bit tougher. You want to, obviously, you want to be closer, and I'm just like, nobody hits out here, so we could put signs out. Nobody hits out here, so we could put signs out here. But they're not doing that. They want us to know that we're playing Golf Clash. It's just amazing. I'm blown away. I'm just blown away. And I just see this not getting any better. Like, they're taking that stuff and running with it, and like, is there nobody at Playdemic that's like, hey guys, our player base is out there playing golf, digital golf, and this is what the course looks like, and we're gonna just like fill our whole course up with signs, and then we'll put them all in play, but we'll make the trees so they're not in play and the shrubs so they're not in play, because that wouldn't be realistic. I do not know. I'm just blown away. I don't know how to respond to it. And we see them out there in one-on-one, and they're putting those signs out, and then they're not taking them out when it's not a tournament. So it's not just like it's a tournament thing and they're just promoting the deal. They're permanently putting obstacles in our way. Hey, if you want the course to be tougher, then put the fucking trees and the shrubs in play. Put more trees and shrubs out on the course. But instead we're going to put signs. I do not know. I do not know. I know I don't know. I'm flabbergasted right now. I appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully you saw some stuff out there that'll help you in the game, but I'm just curious if everybody else is as frustrated as I am with the game right now. Like, it just seems like, it literally seems like they're going out of their way to beat us with a stick. And I don't see any carrot. I mean, there is no carrot. It's like, are you trying to sabotage your own game? Maybe. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Thanks for watching. Hopefully everybody has a great week. I know that I'm not going to be playing the tournament. I'm just not interested in giving them any resources. Unless I can get some free practice tokens. I don't know about the holes. I'm just not interested in I'm not interested in helping their company out. They're not trying to help us. They're not trying to make a great playing experience for us. I have no idea what their plan is, but whatever it is, it's not creating a great play experience for us players, at least not me. But let me know how you feel about it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.